I want to welcome you to another video class for the redoxdoc.com video class series. Today's topic is rheumatoid arthritis. Many people have requested some information about how this pertains to our redox biochemistry, the relationships that exist there. Rheumatoid arthritis is a very serious health condition. It affects tens of millions of Americans, and as our immune balances in our population have kind of drifted off course, more and more people are affected by this, and it is an inflammatory condition that affects our joints. And it can be disabling and quite serious, so it's an important topic to pay attention to. Any way we can restore balance to our health is going to be of interest. So arthritis in general can be kind of divided into two categories. There's the wear and tear arthritis, we call osteoarthritis. This is the arthritis that is related to aging of our body, and it revolves around poor repair work. It's kind of like our joints get worked all day long, and there's as the cartilage surface rubs against each other, there can be little potholes that develop. At nighttime, our body does repair work, and it puts a little cement down in there, and it's smooth again by morning. But that doesn't happen. We've got a problem, and that is an important arthritic condition, but not our topic tonight. The other main category are the inflammatory arthritis conditions, where there's excessive inflammation, and rheumatoid arthritis is in that category, as with others. So we'll forget about the others tonight and just focus on rheumatoid arthritis. It is usually diagnosed with some blood tests and a clinical examination, and that degree of inflammation will show up in laboratory tests pretty clearly. And if you put it all together, then that condition is something that you're going to have to contend with and face. So the hallmark that describes this best is probably best summed up with just simply an overproduction of the body of certain chemicals that irritate the joint. And those chemicals lead to certain results. There's a breakdown in the lipid layers of our cells. There's breakdown of protein in our cells. There's a disruption of various membranes inside and outside the cell, and even a breakdown in the nucleic acids that actually make up our DNA and much of our nucleus material in our cell. And so this disrupts the entire cell functions and leads to a reaction called inflammation. And it signals more and more inflammation. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So as we activate more and more inflammation, then we're activating other nuclear factors inside our body like kappa B. And as that happens, we not only affect inflammation and the damage here, but we also cause an expression of various genes in our cells that also signal an uptick in inflammation. So we're altering our gene expression by having this inflammation in the first place, and then it just gets even more so. So in many cases, people feel so frustrated because they don't seem to have any real good response to regular therapies, and they can quickly become disabled, disfigured, and crippled. So what can you do? Where can you intervene? Well, medications that doctors prescribe, such as non-steroid anti-inflammatory drugs and steroid anti-inflammatory drugs, will interfere in some of these chemical reactions right here and right here. It's simply interfering, but not correcting, all right? So everybody has a natural inclination to want to get to the root of the issue. And so what I typically recommend to my patients who are deep into this hole of rheumatoid arthritis is to do a combination of let's stop the damage from happening right now and work on getting to the root of the whole thing. So it's not like either or. You can do both. And initially, if you don't stop this, you can get quite ill very quickly. So medical treatment oftentimes will kind of shut down the inflammation, but then you're dependent on that until you get to the core of the matter. So let's talk about the core of the matter. So the solutions that I have witnessed over the last 35 years or so in medical practice that really work revolve around getting to the basic imbalances in our physiology, so that lead to these problems. So this essentially is going to interface all of these, okay? So let's talk about some basic things. First, nutrition. In America, we eat kind of upside down. Frequently, people sit down to a meal, or they'll say, hey, what's for dinner tonight? And they'll say, oh, it's chicken, because the chicken occupies most of the plate. And then there might be a little corner for a vegetable or a fruit or a grain. And that kind of eating will actually fuel the inflammation and destruction of our cells. So a diet that is rich in foods that have an alkaline outcome metabolically, a less acid outcome, are basically fruits and vegetables. So if 80% of our plate is vegetables and fruits, and only 20% of our plate is the rest of it all, meaning maybe 5% of it or so is going to be foods that come from animals, then we're going to have less of a burden that leads to inflammation in our body. It helps with the healthy lining of our gut. It helps to reduce inflammation there as well. And this kind of food actually messages the bacteria that live in our gut to reproduce and grow. The friendly bacteria are the ones that will grow under that influence of that kind of balance of food. Secondly, do things that will improve your redox balance, your redox potential. Having a balanced resource of redox molecules in our chemistry makes a world of difference in our body's ability to avoid walking down this road and short circuit some of these important things, especially right here where we're activating transcription factors like nuclear factor kappa B. You can actually just shut that down by having a healthy redox balance. And this whole expression of our adaptogenic genes that are going to lead to inflammation is going to be stopped. So we can do that mostly to make a real difference that's going to affect this kind of health challenge that people are facing. You're going to have to take a supplement. And today there are supplements, liquid supplements that you can take and consume that contain balanced and stabilized redox molecules that your body will extract and use according to what it needs. Third, hydration can't be emphasized enough. In fact, 2 to 3 liters of water a day, and if you can add some trace minerals like a little pinch of Himalayan salt or Celtic salt to a tall glass, a 32 or 1632 ounce, just a pinch that you can't taste, but will provide a water that has the ability to absorb directly into cells. You don't even have to digest it. It's osmotically stable and will go right into our cells. Lastly, supplements. There are many nutritional supplements that help our body with the solutions in dealing with inflammation. When we can consume lots of greens, like greens that come from the land, where it be alfalfa or barley grass, or maybe from the sea, where we consume algae or things like that. All the greens contain chlorophyll. The chlorophyll is helping our body detoxify itself, and it's almost like a filter. There are supplements called chondroitin, MSM, acetyl myristoyl that are anti-inflammatory by nature. They will help our body as well. So all in all, you've got a variety of solutions that kind of interface with the chemistry in our body that turn off the fuel that leads to this inflammatory process. And yes, it's critical to, if you need to use medical treatment to sort of hold off the influence of this process that's causing destruction. But all in all, if you kind of combine the two, and then that will allow you to focus more here, my experience has been that you just can turn that boat around and turn off the inflammation naturally. And that is a very powerful experience to find. And that will also lead to other health benefits that you may not have even realized yet. So I'm glad that you've been able to attend this class. Stay tuned for more classes. We'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.